and this is going to be from a London-centric point of view, particularly, although it can be expanded wider to the UK, and it can also be expanded to other Western countries such as the United States. So violent crime in London statistically affects black people more than any other ethnicity in London. It also is perpetrated by more black people than any other demographic in London. People always talk about proportionality when we deal with social topics, and I'm 100% agree that proportionality always has to be taken into consideration when dealing with statistics. However, proportionality actually makes this a larger issue for us in London, being that in London black people make up approximately 10% of London's population, yet most of the violent crime perpetrators and victims are black. So we have a clear issue. When people say to me, oh well, what about white on white crime? Would nobody use the term white on white crime when white people kill white people? And what I will say to that is no one uses the term because it's not necessary. If there was a larger proportion of white people killing white people, then it would be an issue. If you had, say, 10% of victims of violent crime in London being black and 10% of the perpetrators being black, then it wouldn't be an issue to be called black on black crime. It would just be lumped in with everybody else. But when you have, in some cases, 80% of the victims of a crime being black and they only make up 10% of a city, then you clearly identify there's a huge issue here that has to be addressed. And the problem is, which I've alluded to in other videos, is that those black people who are supposed to, or quote unquote, put themselves in a place to represent people like myself, which to be honest, I don't really need anyone to represent me, I can do that for myself. But you have people who are out there and they say they represent us, whether they are politicians such as David Lammy, as Diane Abbott, even people like Sadiq Khan as well. Now, as an ethnic minority, they claim to represent certain groups of people. You have the quote-unquote activists such as Sasha Johnson and so on. They say they represent black people and they're fighting for black people. Yet, what they should be fighting for, or where black people are really being affected, they're very silent people. Yet, what they should be fighting for, or where black people are really being affected, they're very silent.